Hey guys, how's it going? Yufan here. I don't want to speak for others, but as a lazy reefer, I assume you're a fan of water parameter tests. If so, you're going to love what I have to say today, because when many others are discussing phosphate testing frequency, I don't even own a phosphate test kit. Today, let's talk about why I only test for nitrates but not phosphate. I'm not saying that phosphates are not important or have no impact on reef tank animals. To better explain myself, I need to break this topic down from two perspectives: where phosphates comes from and where it goes. So, where does it come from? In a closed reef system, nothing really comes or goes unless we put it in or take it out. The main route for nutrients entering the tank is through feeding. Whether you're feeding frozen shrimp, pellets, or DIY seafood blends, each is designed according to the nutritional needs of a marine fish. This means the nitrogen to phosphorus ratio in this food is relatively fixed, around 6:1. These ratios are not random, they are backed by decades of aquaculture nutrition research. So, unless you are pouring in fertilizer or adding phosphate directly, phosphate enter your tank hand in hand with nitrogen. More food equals more of both. Less food equals less of both. The two coming together like or not. Now, let's look at the other side. How phosphate is removed or consumed. Once food is eaten, part of it is used to build fish biomass. Muscles, bones, organs. This eternal storage maintains a fairly balanced nitrogen to phosphorus ratio, same as feed, about 6:1. What is not absorbed is excreted as waste, entering the water column as dissolved nutrients. Here's where things get interesting. Phosphate has a strong affinity for surfaces. It readily binds with calcium, iron, and aluminum ions, and gets locked into live rocks, sand, or even plumbing. This isn't a slow biological process, it's simple chemistry. Phosphate doesn't float around for long if there is place for it to settle. Nitrate, on the other hand, is far more mobile. It dissolves in water, flows around until consumed by coral, algae, or actively removed, typically through water exchange, biological filtration, or dedicated denitrification setups. That is why we often see nitrate build up without a corresponding spike in phosphate. It's not that phosphate isn't entering the system, it's just being absorbed, bound, or buried faster and more efficiently. So, back at the beginning question, why I don't test the phosphate? In my system, I don't run carbon dosing. I don't use phosphate removing media. It's just live rock, fish, coral, and occasionally water exchange. In this kind of setup, there's no process that selectively removes nitrate without also removing phosphate. So, as long as nitrate is within a reasonable range where I test once a month, I can be fairly confident that phosphate isn't secretly getting out of hand. It might be low or it might be locked up in the rock, but it's not likely to be skyrocketing on its own. My thinking is simple. If nitrate is high, it means the system is overloaded. I will reduce feeding or do a water exchange. If nitrate is stable, phosphate is probably behaving too. Testing should help you solve problems, not just give you numbers. In a closed system like a reef tank, understanding how nutrients move is often more valuable than chasing perfect values. But there's one thing need to be addressed. If you're running more advanced filtration, dosing carbo sources like vodka, then yes, you should probably monitor phosphate too. In those cases, it is possible to unbalance the system and accidentally drive phosphate too high. But for a lazy reefer like me, one test kit is enough. Nitrate gave me the signal I need to understand how the system is doing. Alright, this is what I want to share today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.